Following Patrick L. Riley's current belief, is it truly XRP adoption that has kept the US from going under? Does China truly care about XRP? By the way, a leading journalist from Fox Business has shared the worst scenario that may happen if Ripple loses to the SEC. Finally, will Ripple's bullish stance on the Middle East and North Africa benefit XRP adoption? Also, Harvard University recently published a report about Ripple and XRP. If this sounds like something of much interest to you, be sure to check out this new video starting now. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced on January 15th. CEO of Ripple financial blockchain company Patrick L. Riley has shared his take on the role of XRP in the unannounced economic rivalry between China and the USA, saying that the current Ripple SEC lawsuit isn't just a court case, it's a war. Riley tweeted that China has been manipulating Bitcoin for years and did not sick its dogs on the leading crypto, even though it has banned crypto trading and mining in the country. What China wanted indeed, he believes, is not to allow XRP adoption in the US since it keeps America from going under. In this regard, he stated that the SEC lawsuit against Ripple Labs is not just a court case, it's a war. The legal battle against Ripple was kicked off by the US securities regulator in December 2020, and it still continues as the parties to this case keep scoring small victories against each other. The Ripple CEO and the XRP Army hope that the case will be settled in 2023. Garlinghouse in particular believes that it may happen in the first quarter of it. China has been working on its own central bank digital currency, CBDC, digital yuan. It has been working on it for several years and doubled its efforts when Facebook began its attempts to create a stablecoin backed by a basket of most popular fiat currencies in 2019 to 2020. Facebook's project was put away to a distant shelf, while the Chinese one has been tested with real users and their wallets already. Back in 2019, there was a lot of talk on crypto Twitter by influencers, such as Anthony Pompliano, that the US should launch digital USD as soon as possible. They believe that if China launches their CBDC before the US, China will surpass the US in the forming sphere of digital finance globally. The Fed Reserve then began looking into creating what was called a Fed coin. However, some in the crypto community criticized the idea of the US creating a CBDC. Among them was the famous whistleblower Edward Snowden. He called CBDCs the perversion and crypto-fascist currency. Many on crypto Twitter also shared their concerns that by launching digital yuan, the Chinese government will tighten its control over the population's personal finance, earnings, and spending, and were worried that the same may happen in the US should the Fed launch digital USD. Furthermore, in his recent tweet, prominent journalist, blogger, and panelist of Fox Business Charles Gasparino imagined what further damage to the crypto industry might follow should Ripple Labs lose the lawsuit against the US securities regulator. Gasparino shared what he believes to be a nightmare scenario for the whole crypto space should Ripple giant lose its case to the SEC spearheaded by Chairman Gary Gensler. This scenario assumes that Ripple loses the lawsuit, first of all. Then, inspired by the victory, Gary Gensler would probably begin attacking Ethereum via court because of its Ethereum sales. This would cripple two best technologies in crypto, as the journalist referred to them. The majority of cryptocurrencies in the market, he added, is not backed by anything. As for Bitcoin, Gasparino believes it to be built on outdated technology. Only Ripple and Ethereum are real, he added, scary stuff. At the moment, all eyes of the XRP community and the crypto space overall are on the lengthy lawsuit between the crypto giant and the regulator. The parties continue to file additional documents. Their supporters submit their amicus briefs. Chief of Ripple Bradley Garlinghouse expects the settlement between the parties to happen in the first quarter of 2023. As stated earlier by analysts, Charles Gasparino offered his 163,800 followers on Twitter to get acquainted with what he believes to be the actual reason that made the SEC regulator go after Ripple and XRP. The main reason amid the current debacle of the FTX exchange and its founder Sam Bankman-Fried, who has been arrested for defrauding investors, is constant sales of XRP by Ripple despite the SEC's warnings. He said that Ripple's management was flouting the authority of the regulator as it kept on selling XRP despite notices to stop that were coming from the SEC. As for the second biggest blockchain, Ethereum, Gasparino said that it did possibly one sale and stopped, no case. He rushed to add that he was not taking sides, just reporting and explaining his take on the case. According to a recent poll conducted by crypto law founder John Deaton, who closely follows the case, the XRP community expects the case to be settled later this year, rather than it ends in a verdict. More than 15,000 people voted in the poll during the last week of December. Now, down to our big take of the day. Will Ripple's bullish stance on the Middle East and North Africa benefit XRP adoption? Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. Ripple's managing director for South Asia and MENA, an acronym for the Middle East and North Africa, Naveen Gupta, in an interview with Zawiya, confirmed the company's optimistic view of the region and plans for further expansion there. As XRP fuels Ripple technology, the growth of cross-border transfers via RippleNet and the massive use of on-demand liquidity by regional financial institutions are expected to lead to increased use and adoption of the cryptocurrency in this part of the world. The MENA region has already started implementing ODL technology, Gupta said, referring to PYYPL, a Ripple partner since last year. In addition, the company's partner networks in the region include major banks like Saudi British Bank and Qatar National Bank. All of these businesses are using Ripple's crypto technologies to facilitate cross-border transactions and are stirring the interest of other organizations that are not yet partners, a spokesperson says. There is also interest in particular states such as the United Arab Emirates in using XRP Ledger, which, if it translates into a relevant development solution for the region, could be rewarded with a grant from Ripple or XRPL Foundation, says Gupta. As a reminder, the UAE has recently announced plans to become a global crypto hub, and Dubai has long been a base for many crypto businesses. That said, Ripple is planning to expand in the region according to all the rules, apparently wanting to avoid an even bigger multi-million-dollar headache, and is already in dialogue with lawmakers and regulators in the Middle East and North Africa. On the other hand, large wallet investors on the XRP network increased their activity. Based on data from Whale Alert, crypto whales moved 385 million tokens, approximately worth $131 million in multiple transactions in the past 24-hour period. The single largest XRP transaction recorded was worth $95.4 million. A surge in whale activity has been associated with profit-taking by large wallet investors. XRP price is edging closer to the lower trend line of the descending channel, the hanging man, a bearish reversal candlestick pattern that occurs after a price advance is composed of price bars moving higher overall. The asset is ready for a bearish trend reversal. The Relative Strength Index, RSI, a momentum indicator, reads 41.67 and XRP is close to being oversold. A climb above resistance at 35 cents could invalidate the bearish thesis for the altcoin. Also, I would want to point out this. Harvard report says that Ripple, XRP, and Stellar Lumens, XLM, will be backbone of payment system of the future. Although the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is engaged in a major battle with Ripple, other market players continue to see major value in this blockchain network. Harvard University recently published a report on the pathway for U.S. digital dollar. In the report, the author Jayesh Mehta mentions that blockchain technology has become mature enough to handle fiat currency in the digital format. Interestingly, the report also mentions that blockchain networks like Ripple and Stellar Lumens have seen growing acceptance while becoming the preferred choice for international businesses. Besides, the report also goes on to explain how these two blockchain platforms can facilitate instant CBDC settlements worldwide while leveraging the power of AI and machine learning. This process also involves an ML-controlled FX interface. The author explains the entire 7-step automated process for the immutable fund transfer chain. Furthermore, Stellar Lumens along with Ripple's XRP have become part of ISO 20022, which makes them suitable and compliant for CBDCs. Furthermore, the Harvard University report notes that CBDCs can work along with stablecoins, and Ripple can easily handle such transactions. Additionally, Ripple is already expanding its ODL solution to more than 40 countries, thus, it has the infrastructure ready to cater to global economies. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.